Hello again, and welcome to another edition of CropLife Retail. We Schrimpf here with Eric Sfiligoj, still in remote locations. I've actually returned to the office a couple times, pick up some things, and actually enjoy the air conditioning. No, that's not really why I went, but it actually was very refreshing since I live in a very old house with no air. But it looks like things might be improving here in Ohio a bit on the COVID side, but we're still being very cautious. And since we have all the tools at our disposal here, including family and birds and other things, dogs, we're gonna hang in there at home for a while.
Yeah, I know. I know myself. Pretty productive working at home, but yeah. So we'll have to see how much longer we're in the bunker. I know a lot of the PR folks have been calling me this week, basically saying that they are now back in the office as of Monday of this week. So I suspect we'll find more and more of our compadres in the marketplace, Paul, will be back in an office environment, most likely before we get back into one. So
you betcha. And that is my parrot screaming. Try not to bring it down. Stay.
You have to put it on your shoulder, Paul. He just wants to be a part of the video.
So she can deafen me by screaming. We'll give it a minute or two. So Dicamba, boy.
Yes. Speaking of deafening an industry, I mean, yes, it's been an eventful week. On June 3rd, the Ninth Circuit Court ruled that basically Dicamba's registrations that were approved back in October 2018 were, I guess, null and void, and they vacated the registration, so that basically for a few days it seemed like no one be able to use Dicamba in the marketplace, even if they had it in their warehouses. So we had a lot of trade groups basically getting on the phone with EPA, wanting clarification and wanting to know what the situation was. And I guess we now have some clarity that basically Dicamba can be used for this season, the application season, if you already have it. But I guess there's some questions moving forward as to what's going to happen with re-registration when that comes up here in November. So,
yeah, big questions about that. And I'm sure there'll be more products in the hopper. All the ones that didn't get included in this ruling because they weren't approved for the first round was probably get tossed in there as well. So there's a lot to discuss. And I guess through the summer, it seems like retailers have burned through a lot of their product, but getting a sense for what's left over, what might get returned, et cetera. Some things that we'll be watching and talking to retailers about as well.
Yeah. So again, it'll be interesting, but at least I know a week ago at this time, everyone was pretty much up in arms, wondering what was going to be happening with their ability to apply Dicamba to their Dicamba-tolerant crops. But now we've got some clarity there. So hopefully this year will be okay. But as I said, we'll have to see. I know there's lawsuits against Dicamba, like there have been with other chemistries, and at least one verdict against the Dicamba for causing damage to a grower's field. So we'll have to be following this as we go through the year, but I'm sure it'll be real interesting to find out. I think BASF and Bayer are both on record as saying they plan to re-register Dicamba, their versions of it. I don't know if that means they'll have to redo the formulations or submit new studies to support the safety factors. Guess we'll have to find out about that, like I say, over the next month or so.
And I'm sure there'll be part of the follow-up and talking to these companies is exactly pinpointing what the objections are and whether the industry is capable of overcoming those immediately, or if it's going to take additional testing or additional. It's hard to believe that testing isn't already out there, but we'll have to see how that unfolds. Very interesting.
Yeah, like I say, it's been interesting. I mean, this year here in 2020, the last 10, 11 weeks or so, it's been hard to kind of, throw the narrative off of coronavirus and COVID-19 and the pandemic. But lo and behold, when the Dicamba decision came down on June 3rd, that pretty much dominated the news as far as most of our ag friends were concerned for several days.
Yep. Absolutely. So I guess we have word on a few other closures or adjustments coming in the summer and early fall.
Yeah, actually, matter of fact, Paul, a little closer to our home. I know a while back I had read that the Cuyahoga County Fair, which is usually held in Berea, Ohio, which is not too far from where you and I live on the west side of Cleveland, was canceled. But we found out this week that the Ohio State Fair now has pulled the plug. So there will not be a gathering in Columbus, Ohio, come July, August of 2020 for the Ohio Staters.
Yeah, I mean, it is a shame. Like I said, we're all learning to adjust. We talked, I think, a few weeks ago about the FYI conference getting rescheduled to December. We realize, I guess, internally, we know that folks are still trying to determine how to talk to the market and try to figure out ways to market products and have discussions about some of the products that they offer. So we're developing a program called the Precision Ag Tech Hub. And there'll be more information coming out about that, but it's going to provide a place for, to kind of catch up with what's new with products, catch up with some of the companies, and have at least have some exchange of information and kind of understanding what products are coming out. So look for that. Discussion about that hopefully in the next week or so. I know our folks are working hard on getting that together, so that'll be something we have as far as a marketing component. But it is tough to replace those in-person interactions. I'm missing it a lot too. Every conversation I have now, email wise or otherwise, I wish we could find a way to get together and talk in person, because it's hard to get used to. But we'll manage through as best as we can and look forward to a brighter future here, I guess.
Yeah, well, speaking of brighter futures, thank you for the segue there. I know one thing we've been talking about is, with COVID-19 and basically people sheltering at home, no one's been traveling. So our friends in the ethanol marketplace have not had as much demand as they've been typically used to for this time of year. But I did read an article that basically said that ethanol production is coming back slowly as states have started to reopen and folks started to go back work after their coronavirus stay-at-home orders have expired. According to the Renewable Fuels Association, ethanol production now has been up for 5 straight weeks, which is good news for that. They say that total production is still down about 25% year to date from 2019. But again, Paul, for a while there, things were looking really bleak for our friends in ethanol, and now it seems like they're on a little bit of a road to recovery.
Yep, every little bit helps. I know the gas prices around here have gone up probably, 30 cents over the past month or so.
Yeah, so I know for a while it was under $2 a gallon. I think it was $2.09 this morning when I went by a gas station. So
yeah, so it's still wildly reasonable compared to the $4+ we were paying not that long ago. But notice that they're going up. Somewhere the truth will balance out. We'll get back to a reasonable level of demand and hopefully pick up ethanol demand as well to help the corn and soybean growers.
Very good. So I think you have one other item to share.
Yeah, just wanted to mention, we put it out on the website as well, but the death of Glenn Brandt and what a pioneering organization that was, how long they've been around in the retail market. They're so much more than that. They're global, they're manufacturers, they're distributors, they're retailers, precision ag providers, pretty much everything. The family it's still in the family. It's still a family business, which is great to see. And still very strong in the retail market, hasn't really diminished at all. It's continued to strengthen, and it all started with Glenn. And our condolences to the family, and best wishes that you're all able to come back and keep things going in his memory.
Very good.
Anything else? That was, like I said, it was the Dicamba made it such a strange week. When these news stories pop up, when that circuit court thing popped up was late in the day. I think everybody was scrambling, but so we'll keep after that news and keep other stuff and bring it up when it occurs. So why don't you close it out?
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for this edition of CropLife Retail Week. We appreciate Paul's Parrot making a guest shot, and we'll see you again real soon.
If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below.
Your feedback is important to us. We'll try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode.
And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.